Hello everybody and welcome to the 2006 Crown Royal 400, the 10th race for 2006 and 2003 seasons. We are green and underway here from Richmond Raceway. Under the lights, it is Kevin Harvick from pole position, who leads us the green flag, and his number 29 Reese Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, as he got the jump over Dale Earnhardt Jr., your Daytona 500 and 2004 Series champion. Greg Biffle, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch also in the top 5. Already 3 wide for 3rd place. Denny Hamlin getting aggressive early. Trying to make away by a trouble. Here's a 14 of Sterling Marlin. Turning to the inside wall hard up the track. And slammed into by Joe Nemechek, Travis Kvapil, and Scott Wimmer. And the caution will come out for the first time here at Richmond Raceway for Sterling Marlin being dumped by Ryan Newman, taking out Joe Nemechek and Scott Wimmer, collecting Travis Kvapil. Michael Waltrip's number 55 also gets a piece of it, but a big wreck and more trouble upside down is the 22 of Dave Blaney on the front straightaway, because Jamie McMurray just got tagged by Marlin, forcing him to go up the racetrack, and then he just gets taken out here by Brian Vickers into the outside wall, and then McMurray spins, slows down Dave Blaney, gets hit by Dale Jarrett, and then Robbie Gordon and Tony Raines with ARCA brakes flips the 22 up and over. Bobby Labonte also with ARCA brakes, and Scott Wimmer flips Dave Blaney, Wimmer's former car, up and over again, just to add insult to injury. And a wild, chaotic start to this night here in Richmond, with already just 32 cars left in the race, and we just started lap 7. And it's still Kevin Harvick leading over Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Denny Hamlin, your top 3 here. But here comes Dale Jr. to the inside lane. Earnhardt looking for the lead for the first time tonight here in Richmond, working the inside of Kevin Harvick in turn 3 and 4. He makes the pass, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. out front in Richmond for the first time tonight. He leads over Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin. See throughout the rest of the pack here, Jimmy Johnson, by the way, just got a lap, but we got more trouble down the backstretch. That's Kurt Busch and Clint Bowyer have gone around the 07 and the Blue Deuce, as Kyle Busch wrecked his own brother Kurt, collecting poor Clint Bowyer in the process, who has just had a rookie season from hell so far to deal with. And then Kurt Busch crashes again in turn 3. This time it's Brian Vickers just did not look where he was going and slammed into the 2, destroying Jamie McMurray in the process, of course, that being Kurt's former car, that 97 transformed to the 26. Then Jimmy Johnson ended up around here. Jimmy Johnson spun himself out, gets a little bit of bumper damage in turn 3, so even the 48 with problems here, and the chaos continues, and then Bowyer spins again. What in the world is going on here? Starting to get back underway on lap 15 now. The lead will be given to the 11 of Denny Hamlin, the rookie, out at Chesterfield, Virginia, not far here from the Richmond Raceway. Hamlin, of course, got his first career Nextel Cup Series win at Texas a couple of races ago, and now once again showing strong speed up at the front, leading the way here in Richmond over Kevin Harvick, Ryan Newman, and Dale Jr. So Hamlin leading the way, and what's been a wild and chaotic Richmond race so far. And now trouble, here's Tony Stewart head on into the inside wall. A hard impact for the 20. A huge hit there for Stewart. Destroys the front end of the 20. Caution out on the racetrack. And that could end Tony Stewart's chances at contending on a track he has done so well at in the past here in Richmond. Hamlin still leading, continuing to do so. Now on lap 24, we got a 3 wide further back, and there goes Kyle Petty and Greg Biffle around, and we continue to crash every 2 laps here in Richmond. The 16 and the 45 go around as Kenseth clips Elliott Sadler, in the process turning him into Biffle, who turns into Kyle Petty, and a big stack up for Truex and Michael Waltrip, who also are involved. Emerging back onto the racetrack, nearly, barely avoiding disaster right there, is Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon. Later in the run, while Hamlin's still leading, Jeremy Mayfield gets turned around by Elliott Sadler, slammed into by Tony Stewart, and causes a multi-car pile up and down the front straightaway. That brings out the L. Tony Stewart now out of the race in 32nd, not the way he wanted his day to end. Meanwhile, we're 3 wide, and there goes Michael Waltrip and Casey Mears. Into the outside wall they go. Caution is out here in Richmond. Just 3 wide going wrong. Just never going to work. And then Jeff Gordon gets turned around. Big hit for J.J. Yaley. Dale Jarrett gets sent spinning. Sadler's around. Kane is in it. And a second wreck under this 1 yellow as Kyle Petty, Casey Kane get together, cause a huge stack up that sends Yaley and Jeff Gordon into the wall. Sadler and Jarrett spinning. And a wild ridiculous race so far here in Richmond. And Michael Waltrip comes back in with some ARCA brakes, which has been kind of the way his night has gone. It's still Denny Hamlin out front, and on the restart, the 16 of Greg Biffle's going to blow a motor out of nowhere. Biffle blows an engine, and the heartbreak continues after Roush Racing's hot start. They have been on the struggle bus as of late, especially Greg Biffle, who will now be out here in Richmond after an engine failure. Costly mistake from him. Jimmy Johnson, by the way, was just on pit road again as he got some 3-wide passes to be made by Kevin Harvick. It's still Denny Hamlin out front leading this race in the 11, impressing here in his Richmond debut. On lap 53. Hamlin still leading, and Mark Martin's car is upside down in the middle of the front stretch. This all starts when Carl Edwards just clips Scott Riggs, turning him and Kyle Busch in the process. And then, as all the chaos is ensuing back here, Mark Martin gets clipped by the spinning Jeff Gordon, and then Kurt Busch ARCA brakes Dale Jr., forcing him into Mark Martin and flipping the AAA number 6 Ford up and over. And our second flip of the night here in Richmond, and a wild race takes out Mark Martin. So now it's 2 Roush cars out in a row. By the way, Ryan Newman is pitting here on the restart from the lead, giving it back to the 29 of Kevin Harvick once again here on lap 59. Harvick leads the way over Jeff Green and Matt Kenseth behind him, with the lap cars of Truex and Kyle Petty mixed in throughout the pack here. It's been a wild race. We're trying to get some green flag racing, which we have here a few laps later. Kevin Harvick will come through to win stage 1 here in Richmond, followed by Jeff Green in second. Third place will be Matt Kenseth. Then Ken Schrader, fourth. Elliott Sadler rounds out the top 5. Then Reed Sorensen, followed by Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kyle Busch, Jamie McMurray, and Brian Vickers, your top 10 in stage 1. Kevin Harvick gets his 3rd stage win of the season already, tying Jimmy Johnson for the most of any driver, as he gets the stage 1 victory here in Richmond, and what was a chaotic first stage to say the least. Now in stage 2, Harvick still out front leading the way on lap 75. Little 3 wide back here. Jeff Gordon, Michael Waltrip pushing the issue a little bit back here. Jeff Burton clips Dale Jarrett, and there goes the 88. Jarrett around. Kenseth gets collected in the process, and a small little incident right there brings out another caution, as the cautions continue to just stack here in what has been an unreal, ridiculous race here in Richmond. So Harvick still leading the way on lap 84. Caution is out. This time is Elliott Sadler, who gets spun around thanks to Michael Waltrip, Ken Schrader. Kenseth got a piece of the bumper of Sadler. Reed Sorensen also got pretty hard into the inside wall, and there goes Jeremy Mayfield and Casey Mears, the 42, on a mission to take out the 19. Maybe something we missed between those two. Casey Mears just sent it in there and destroyed Mayfield, and more problems. More cars wrecking. Michael Waltrip is destroyed. Jeff Burton, the 31, spins into Kenny Wallace, and then pow into Matt Kenseth again. And that might be the end of the night for Matt Kenseth. And then Mikey gets turned around there by Brian Vickers, and the chaos continues. Harvick still out front, lap 59, lap 60-ish, almost had a wreck. But we do have a wreck. Upside down goes the 31 of Jeff Burton, slamming into Carl Edwards. A hellacious crash down the back straightaway. Kenny Wallace, Jeff Burton slammed the inside wall. The 31 goes up and over, collecting the innocent Carl Edwards, who's just running his line in a massive pileup. And the carnage is continuing and ensuing here in Richmond. And now with all the different strategy, Dale Jarrett, with no front or rear bumper, has found his way to the race lead with his teammate of Elliott Sadler in second. Both cars are heavily damaged, as is third place Jeff Gordon. By the way, Jimmy Johnson just unlapped himself right there, so keep that in mind. So yeah, we got Jeff Green's out. He gets out, more trouble down the backstretch. There goes Martin Truex, and Dale Jr. spinning, collecting the 99. Burton also in it, and the caution is out. This time that was Denny Hamlin getting to the 1. Junior goes for a hard lick to the inside wall and comes flying right back up the racetrack into the door of Carl Edwards for the second time. Carl Edwards doing nothing wrong, just getting collected in someone else's mess. And this time Junior, who is so good, so fast for so long, now gets involved in his second incident of the night. And it should cycle out to be Jeff Gordon, your new race leader. So yeah, Jeff Gordon leading the way on this restart here at Richmond over the 19 of Jeremy Mayfield. But there's trouble. Brian Vickers and Jamie McMurray head onto the outside wall, up and over. Again, our 4th flip as Vickers lands on his lid. McMurray's destroys a glitched into the wall. We haven't seen that one in a little while, and a massive crash takes out both of those drivers, and down the backstretch, Denny Hamlin, the 11, the hometown hero, is doing so well, clips Kyle Petty and gets himself wrecked by Dale Jr. And unfortunately, that will be the end of the night for the 11 of Denny Hamlin, who is having one of the best runs of his young career so far. It will come to an end in a crash here at Richmond. And now the trouble. There goes Elliott Sadler and Kyle Petty spinning on the restart. Truex collected hard to the inside wall. Michael Waltrip piles in. Caution is out once again. Jeff Gordon leads. Hard hit for Truex right here. He, Sadler, Burton, Waltrip, Kyle Petty, Kurt Busch, all involved. And what has been a absolute demolition derby here in Richmond, which is whoever has the least damage might end up winning this thing. Jeff Gordon still leading here on lap 122, but not for much longer. His teammate Kyle Busch putting the pressure on. Caution is out, and this time it's Kevin Harvick getting taken out into the outside wall. He gets spun out. Kenny Wallace, Michael Waltrip also involved. Jeremy Mayfield, Kurt Busch. And it's just the same clowns wrecking over and over and over. And now on this restarts is Jeff Gordon pitting. Kyle Busch in the 5 will now cycle out to be a race leader. And Kyle Busch in control of this race here in stage number 2. Trying to get another stage win to back up his win in Talladega last episode. Could Kyle Busch go back-to-back? We will find out. A few laps later, though, he has been passed. It is the 12 of Ryan Newman, who has a virtually clean race car, which is rare for tonight. Just drove his way to the lead. Newman, your defending champion, in control. Here coming to the last lap of stage 2. In trouble is a 78 to Kenny Wallace, and Newman drives right into him. And there goes your leader. Newman wrecks himself out of a golden opportunity to win the stage and even the race. The 12 of Newman is completely destroyed out of this race, as is Kenny Wallace. And guess what that's going to do? That's going to end the stage, and that gives the lead to Jimmy Johnson, who was 2 laps down at one point. And now Jimmy Johnson is going to steal the stage win. Scott Riggs second, Earnhardt is third, Kyle Busch fourth. 5th place is going to end up being the 07 of Clint Boyer, and then 6th place is going to be Kenny Schrader, Elliott Sadler 7th, Jeff Gordon 8th, Carl Edwards 9th, and the last stage point is going to end up going to Kurt Busch's Blue Deuce. So Jimmy Johnson steals stage 2 from Ryan Newman, who literally wrecks himself out of contention, and there goes Kevin Harvick into the outside wall, hard hit into Jeff Gordon, who got airborne into the outside wall. They both go hard impacts here in Richmond. That's going to take out the 29. It was so dominant earlier. It's going to take out Jeff Gordon. Carl Edwards is done. JJ Yaley's got big damage. And the destruction, that's what you have to call it at this point. The destruction continues, and now Kyle Busch has taken the lead on lap 201. Exactly 100 to go in this race. Kyle Busch leads, but his teammate, the 48, Jimmy Johnson, right there behind him in second. Looks like it's going to be a Hendrick battle for the victory between Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson. And here comes the 48, taking advantage of Kyle Busch being stuck behind Reed Sorensen. Jimmy Johnson swings to the inside lane, and they're going to be side by side for the lead coming out of turn 4. Who's it going to be? Where will Reed Sorensen go? He blocks Kyle Busch. Exactly what the 48 wanted to see, and Jimmy Johnson drives his way into the race lead here at Richmond, trying to get win number 3 on the season. This time would be a comeback from 2 laps down, as we see Clint Boyer pitting. This was during our final green flag pit stop cycle of the night. Kyle Busch cooked Jimmy Johnson on the pit cycle, and the 5 is in complete control of this race now. Kyle Busch will be your leader with 60 to go here at Richmond, about to go back-to-back for the first time in his career, but Jimmy Johnson gets his revenge, makes the pass back with just 24 laps remaining here. But now Reed Sorensen once again playing a factor, going low. The 48 of Johnson takes the high side. Kyle Busch makes it 3 wide for the lead. Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson doing battle, doing whatever it takes to get the lead and win this race. What a battle between these two superstars of our sport, Kyle Busch, the young phenom, and Jimmy Johnson, the veteran who's been knocking on the door of a Nextel Cup Series championship for years and is trying to finally cash in this season. But Johnson right back on the bumper, Kyle Busch, who has the lead, but the 48 takes it back, 17 to go. Jimmy Johnson out front. Kyle Busch still right there, chasing him down in second. Now here we go. Kyle Busch has made his move. Just 16 laps remain here in Richmond. Can Kyle Busch beat Jimmie Johnson with a more beat-up race car? Jimmie has a lot less damage, only a little bit of bumper damage on the 48. The 5 has no back bumper and is destroyed on the right side of his car, but Kyle Busch drives his way into the race lead with just 15 laps remaining here in Richmond. The battle continues. The 48 on the outside. Contact made. No love lost between these two teammates, but it is a good, hard racing battle right now for the win. This is exactly what you want to see. Kyle Busch and Jimmie Johnson back and forth. What a battle for the win, and Kyle Busch secures the lead with 14 to go, and a caution came out because Elliott Sadler and Clint Boyer crashed out of this race, and now we're going to get back underway with just 2 laps to go in regulation. Is Jimmie Johnson, who had the lead on the time of caution, so he gets the jump on the restart over Kyle Busch, and the 48 can now drive away to win number 3 of the 06 campaign. Kyle Busch did not have the restart he wanted for, and Jimmie Johnson pulling away here at Richmond. White flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank for Jimmie Johnson, who started this race in midway through stage 1, 2 laps down, and clawed his way all the way back on the lead lap thanks to all the chaos in that second stage. Won the stage thanks to Newman crashing out, and now he is going to win the race. Jimmie Johnson wins in Richmond. Kyle Busch second, Dale Earnhardt Jr. third, Riggs Schrader the top 5, then Sorensen, Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, Kyle Petty, and Jeremy Mayfield somehow get a top 10 finish. So Jimmie Johnson wins it here in Richmond, leading 77 of 300 laps, his 13th career victory, tying him for 45th on the all-time wins list. What a battle with his teammate Kyle Busch, but Jimmie Johnson comes out on top, and it's his 3rd win this season. Already your points leader going to continue to extend that lead, cementing himself as the heavy favorite to win the championship come Homestead Miami Speedway. You see the final race results there on the left side of your screen. Now we're going to go look at the point standings in a few short moments. Now your updated Nextel Cup Series point standings here after our 10th race of the season at Richmond. Jimmie Johnson, of course, your race winner and your points leader. Now an 88-point lead over Tony Stewart. Jimmie Johnson looking very, very comfortable. Looking like he's well on his way to a title. Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, Kyle Busch, and Carl Edwards, your top 5 in points. Harvick, Gordon, Biffle still looking all good. But the cut line has gotten a lot closer. Jeff Burton, only 4 points above the cut line in 9th. Casey Mears on the bubble, just 2 above his rookie teammate Reed Sorensen. Jr. only out by 3. Kurt Busch and Matt Kenseth are right there as well. Also, you got McMurray, Truex, other guys on the outside looking in. So there's your updated point standings. Jimmie Johnson gets the win, retains his points lead after Richmond. And as we end this episode, as always, I want to give a special shout out to my channel members. So thank you very much to Brenda Breen and Jeremy Isley. I really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot to me and helps this channel and I continue to grow on our road to 1,000 subscribers, as we are ever so close, eclipsing 912 subscribers recently. So those of you that are watching this video and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It's completely free, only takes a couple of seconds, and it would really help me out in the long run with making great content on this channel. And so until next episode, I hope you all have a good one.